Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out at Southwest McKinney, Texas. This is a cloudy afternoon when I went out and did some big box store plant shopping. I actually went right after working a 10-hour shift. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I would really love the support from all the plant foldies, as I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I'd love for you to also give me a follow on Instagram. My name is at Grow Folds. Please feel free to send me a direct message anytime, as I often do post on that social media venue as well. And if you don't have an Instagram page, consider creating one, because a lot of the viewers and subscribers also are on Instagram. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, today's episode is going to be a special episode because I will feature some clips of my grandmother that my aunt took for me, so she can actually share her thanks to all of the plant foldies that send super stickers to her. She is super happy about that, and just for anybody giving her the time to watch her plants. So she's super proud of it. She's actually even more excited to grow plants because now she understands that there are people out there that are inspired by her story. She is, again, 90 years old and she is walking. She is able to do a lot of things on her own. She is super healthy, and she attributes a lot of her health, both her physical and mental health, because she has been growing plants for decades. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I definitely wanted to go show you the big box or plant shopping video. Today we are at Lowe's, and every time we go to Lowe's, there are so many selections in the outdoor garden section. I've actually been growing a lot of my indoor tropical plants, predominantly my I was gonna say alocasia, but my aglaonema that I've received from overseas. I've noticed that my plants tend to bounce back. They're a lot healthier. They grow a little bit more vigorous when they are actually outdoors in a shaded area. So I wanted to make sure to at least showcase some of the outdoor garden plants out here before we get into the main event. And you are going to be super excited because, like I mentioned in my previous big box store plant shopping video for plant restocks during the summertime in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is where I'm based at, a lot of the Lowe's are getting plant restocks. So it's always exciting. I always want to make sure that I'm featuring these beautiful plants. You can see right here, we've got some canna lilies. I really love that fiery red bloom, and we've got several hanging baskets. I will ask the plant foldies in the comment section, please comment what is your random act of kindness, because in my previous video I mentioned how I would love for everybody to really make it a goal to think about what kindness you have given to somebody on a daily basis. So for me, it is all about giving free kindness to anybody. I feel like the world really needs that this day forward, just because there is a lot of negativity both in the real world and on social media. And I hope that through my plant shopping videos, through my plant content, we are able to continue to grow and create a space where everybody is welcome and everybody will only just have good vibes only, because I'm having some good vibes right now just showcasing these beautiful plants, and I'm super excited. It's not going to be a very long clip, so I hope you guys will give my grandmother Belen, Lola Belen, the time to just watch what she has to say about her plants. She actually ended up getting my aunt, who she lives with in North Houston, to film her, even though it was slightly raining where she lived, because she really wanted to get a video out for the plant foldies.
I would like to say thank you for supporting my grandson Grow Fold site. My grandson told me that you like my video. Thank you for your support and for especially the super sticker you sent. David, Angeli D, Cedric, and Cinnamon.
Okay, show your garden, Mom.
You go there, you go.
Okay.
Baka naman narinig pa yun.
Okay.
This is my blooming zinnia that I want to share to you. to everybody. And then you go.
Okay, Mom.
And this is my flowering jasmine. This is the national flowers of the Philippines. It smells good and it's really dainty. And I love my naulan. And I love my plumeria. Look. My plumeria. The flowers are almost gone. Oh, it's raining. This is my black begonia. They are all pretty. So, let's go inside. I want to show you some of my plants inside. Some of my plants inside that I want to show everybody. Hope everybody would enjoy watching it. I enjoy it taking care of all of my plants, and it makes me live long life. Plants, I want to show it to you, and I just want to thank everybody who love to watch my grandson grow full size. Thank you very much and happy gardening.
And foldies, again, I absolutely love my grandmother. Mahal na mahal kita, which means I love you very much in Tagalog, which is the language of the Philippines. That is where my family is originally from. My grandmother is literally the beacon of hope when it comes to just how you can create a legacy with your life through kindness, through hard work, and just being there and present. I really look up to her, and I know that I'm going to be kind of rambling a little bit, but anytime I share my grandmother to the social media, world, I would just say that if you're ever struggling with anything in nature or just in general, just remember that for somebody like her, she has and continues to live at 90 years old a very meaningful life, and a lot of it has to do with the support and love of her family. We are a very close-knit family, a very large family, upholding heritage and cultural values, because I feel like in this day and age, we should never, ever forget where our ancestors come from and make sure that we continue to pass on that type of identity through future generations, and also just being kind. I mean, I've spent a lot of time today already talking about kindness, but I want to provide different type of plant content where it's not just cutesy or something trending. I want to be able to speak freely about how we all need to be supportive, because I see a lot of people that struggle. And whenever I think about my grandmother, I think about just all of the trials and tribulations that she's had and how she's able to overcome that and really look at the silver lining. And so my message for any of the plant foldies watching, continue to support my grandmother. Please press the thumbs up button for this video, because if anything, even if it's not my content, I would love for this video to be pushed out to more plant lovers like yourself, so you can continue to share her wonderful story that continues to write different pages every day, because I truly believe my grandmother is going to continue to live a very happy and meaningful life. So let me get off of my soapbox here. I get a little bit emotional, plant foldies, and you already know if this is not the kind of content you're into in terms of you just wanting me to talk about plants, I totally get it. But I do want to utilize this platform to be able to speak freely, because I do believe, and I always tell anybody that is giving me the time of of day, be your most authentic self. Do not be that overly critical person, because you never know what somebody's going through. You don't know somebody's story. And so today's video, alongside the super exciting journey we're going to be looking at today in terms of all of the new plants, restocks from Costa Farms, I did want to just touch a little bit based on just social media presence, how we need to be kind, how we need to look at the present day and think of tomorrow as a blessing. Anyways, let's get to the actual videos. I know I've been talking a lot, but as you can see right here, anytime you go to a Lowe's location, you will see Oasis plants. These are the main providers for big box store Lowe's, for instance, where you will see a lot of succulents and cactus. I do like Kalanchoe. So this is the Kalanchoe fangs. Really like how it's got a very like hard velvety texture to the leaves. It's a very robust plant and it's very cost effective. So I would love to learn more about cactus and succulents. It's another plant genus that really intrigues me because of the different shapes and structural the structures of the plant. You know, they are living works of art. I do think that they have a very unique structure about them. I mean, you can see over here lots and lots of beautiful succulents. This one is the Kalanchoe hybrid for only $9.98, and it's a pretty large one. I will say with succulents and cactus, basic care tips, and its basic general care tips is you want to put them in fast draining soil, chunky soil that dries out pretty fast because they do not want to be waterlogged, lots of bright light. Does that mean that all succulents need to be in full sun? No, I've actually learned that the hard way, where I thought any succulent needs to just be out in full sun. That is not necessarily the case, because some succulents do not want to be too hot, if that makes any sense. My original thought process whenever it goes to like succulents and cactus is that they are desert plants. That is also not necessarily the case. So as we continue to shop together for plants, we also will learn together on what is the appropriate care tips for specific plants. You can even see right over here, when we talk about that structural look on these cactus and succulents, I just love how they have different looks about them. I mean, you can see right over here, look at this succulent, and this is only, again, for that price. That is not a bad price at all. It is kind of leaning towards, so it may need some support. What an interesting succulent right over here. And I love to just feature different types of plants. And again, I did want to shout out all of the plant foldies. You already know who you are. You already know that you are on the live premiere chat, counting how many times I say Hydra Helix. I really appreciate you. You know, a lot of my big box or plant shopping videos are purposely with the intent of making them at least 1 hour long. So maybe I could provide a space where we can all just hang out and chat. Feel free to go in and out of the chat. And if you've never been on a live premiere chat, typically plant foldies, I will upload and premiere a video at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you don't know how to join into the live premiere chat, typically if you watch through a computer, you can just enter the chat, or if you're using the YouTube app on your phone, it should automatically let you in on the chat. I would love to see more people participating in the chat. Feel free to ask me anything as long as it is in an appropriate way. Anyways, plant foldies, as you can see right here, lots and lots of succulents. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick up some plants here and just show you the outdoor section. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time in the outdoor section because the main event, and I already know plant foldies, y'all want to see the indoor tropical plants, but I do like highlighting different types of plants because we want to diversify our interest in terms of plants. I feel like if you put yourself in a situation where you're only open to one specific genus of plants, I did say that I am more so an Aglaonema collector, but I still am interested in a lot of the plants. I think you kind of limit yourself on what is the potential plant that you can add into your plant collection. And you can see over here, I've never used this dynamite fertilizer. You know, we talk about plant fertilizers for succulents and cactus. I do recommend using more slow release fertilizers for these plants because succulents and cactus in general are not vigorous growers. They're a little bit slower growing, which is okay. But in terms of plant propagations, they're pretty easy. I haven't done a lot of research research. I know that you can propagate even with just the foliage of the leaves or even cuttings. You can literally just stick one of those leaves on top of the soil, mist it, and it will eventually root. So really interesting to see what type of methods of plant propagation can happen. And as I walk around here, I'm just going to show you what else they have in terms of different types of shrubs. I talked about getting into bonsai again. I still need to create the bonsai supply affiliate video, so we'll see what that looks like. One thing I absolutely love about Lowe's is even in the heat of summer, I will say though, Dallas-Fort Worth, our summer hasn't been extremely hot. We haven't really reached 100-degree weather. I'm probably jinxing it, but even in the second week of July, it's not that hot. I'm pretty sure though by August, and my birthday is August 7th, it's going to be right at tax-free weekend of all places. I'm pretty sure it's going to be super hot. But one thing I will say about Lowe's locations during the summer is that they keep a really full and healthy garden center. So, I am a Lowe's fan. Big box store plant shopping is literally the core of this YouTube channel. But again, as I say in all my videos, always support small businesses, local businesses. Shout out to Peter's Planters. Please shop Peter's Planters either online or visit Peter's Planters in person in Dallas. That is one of my favorite plant shops because it is a local small business with an amazing story. And that's one of those things where I think when I think about why I started my YouTube channel, it was really an origami ASMR video just channel where I was basically dealing with a lot of anxiety and OCD, and I found a way to just make origami paper cranes. Now, I have been told that I sometimes repeat myself on the reason why I call my YouTube channel Grow Fold and why I call my viewers Plant Foldies. The grow is obviously because of the plants. Fold, as in Folds, means we're folding. Origami is the ancient art of growing origami paper, like folding paper into different types of structures. For me, I love folding origami paper cranes. And when I call you guys the plant foldies, it's basically those that love plants and those that love origami. I probably will start to snip in a couple of origami ASMR video clips in my big box or plant shopping videos, but I do want to call it out because YouTube analytics will share and tell me everything. As soon as I flash an origami clip, literally somebody will stop watching. So I think it's just really interesting. I think it's really telling. It's kind of like when people will press the dislike button for a video. Just know we as content creators know who does that. And I always ask anybody who will press the dislike button for a content creator, what was the intent of doing that? Could you have just not engaged with the video? So that is another message of kindness. There's just a lot of silent hate that happens, and I am one of those people that I will always call it out for anybody. So let me get off of that rant because, I've been really chatty as of late. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I am finally back at doing big box or plant shopping videos. You can see right over here that Croton Mame by Costa Farms was only $19.98. Really excited to see such colorful plants. And then we're going to walk around here and see what else we got. We've got some more Croton. So this is a Croton Petra for also $19.98. It is one of those plants, as I say in all my videos, super overlooked, oftentimes grown as an annual plant in the fall. It really is disheartening for me to see the overproduction of certain plants for decorative purposes. When you think about how much time it took to grow a croton to that size and only for it to be decorative for like maybe 2 to 3 weeks in the fall. And then when it gets too cold, most people do not have the wherewithal or patience to try to overwinterize it and grow it indoors to protect it from the cold. That's where I feel like the negative impacts when it comes to plants is the overconsumption and overproduction of certain plants just to meet a decorative purpose. So I get it, you know, we put plants for decorations, but I also want everybody to be mindful of the fact that yes, you can buy a plant, and yes, it may not be something that you want to grow long term, but I would hope that we'd be a little bit more mindful about what plants we're bringing in, and if we're able to truly give it the space. Like a lot of these plants right here at this Lowe's, you can see the beautiful hanging baskets of Epipremnum aureum golden pothos, $19.98. You can grow a lot of your indoor tropical plants when it is a little bit warmer in the spring and summer, as long as you are providing that shade or indirect light. Now, everybody's favorite, or at least it's mine. Are y'all ready for it? Hydra helix, or the correct way to say it, let's do it again, right? Hedera helix. Hydra helix or Hedera helix. Now, I'm pretty sure whoever has just discovered my channel probably thinks it's cringy, Richie's repetitive, etc., etc. You know what I always tell people, for the haters that don't want me to say Hydra helix, I live rent-free in somebody's mind. And that's another thing I wanted to say to anybody that has ever had to deal with bashing or negativity. Just remember, you become relevant in somebody's mind because they had to foster that negative energy in order for them to actually give you that negativity. So it's something I had to actually tell a couple of kids that I mentor is don't be so worried about fitting in. Don't be so worried about trying to please society. As long as you're not hurting anybody and as long as you're being your most authentic self, you are good to go. You know, with these plants, they're just living their best life. And for me, living your best life is allowing yourself to be you. I say this in every single video, but I do feel like repetition is important to really get that point across. I just think that a lot of people really struggle with having to please people. For me, at this point, when I first started creating big box or plant shopping videos, I felt the need to really talk about the plants, to really know the plant care tips. And now I'm at the point where I'm just gonna go ahead and take whatever video footage I have and talk freely amongst you, so I don't feel like I have to read a script or be scripted, if that makes any sense. Now, in terms of plants that I do think is overlooked and underrated, let's take a look at this Coleus plant, for instance. Coleus plants, you can grow them from seed, or you can just take a little cutting like this, put it in soil directly, and it will literally root. It has such a high success rate of just rooting directly into soil. Just make sure you keep the soil moist. Coleus plants do need to be watered frequently. They do not like to dry out. And so for me, even if I do love Coleus plants, I know last year I went on a whole Coleus era where I was literally going to like big box stores, local nurseries, ordering Coleus online and trying to collect them. But the problem is, whenever you are collecting so many plants, when winter comes, winter is coming, it is very challenging to overwinter them. Now with Coleus plants though, a lot of people will say that you can grow them by just taking a couple of cuttings and kind of overwintering them, you know, rooting them in water. And when the weather gets a little bit warmer, you can just pot them up and you'll have Coleus plants readily available. Oftentimes these plants are definitely grown as annual plants, plants that you will just grow for one growing season, but it is possible to grow coleus plants long-term indoors as a house plant. I've seen a lot of European Instagram pages where people have actually developed coleus into like almost like indoor trees, colorful trees, because the branching does get a little bit woody as it matures. And as you can see right here, we're going to be looking at some more of these plants. Ground cover right over here. I am always fascinated by the ajuga. This is a variegated ajuga right next to the Hydra helix. And I really can't pull this one out. It looks like it's kind of stuck there, so I don't want to rip anything out. But as far as variegated ajuga, these are actually perennials that can be grown as a perennial in my grow zone, which is 8B. Again, I am based out in North Dallas. And, you know, as far as knowing your grow zone, it's definitely important because then you can really look at what plants will be perennials or what plants are just considered annuals. I did want to show you all of these Talavera planters. Really cool looking planters. It's got a very unique aesthetic, and I like looking at the dog planter right over here, and they also had like a chicken planter. But my favorite planters of all time currently is you know, terracotta planters. I think terracotta planters are amazing. This is a specific shape I like. I like a very modern, very simplistic shape. Terracotta planters are great for anybody that's considered an overwater or somebody that waters their plants often, because terracotta planters will actually remove a lot of the moisture from the soil substrate, so it dries a little bit faster. So for me, planting plants that like to be more on the drier side, I like to put them in terracotta planters. For instance, putting snake plants and even aglaonema. Definitely your succulents and cactus would benefit growing in a terracotta planter. So just a couple of my tips here. And before we get into the actual main event, which is the indoor tropical plants, the plant Restock by Costa Farms, the massive Restock by Costa Farms at Lowe's. Let's take a look at these plant products again. I like to go over what products I use. I use Miracle-Gro all-purpose plant fertilizer, and if you are part of the Lowe's member rewards, my Lowe's rewards, which is basically downloading the Lowe's app onto your phone and joining their loyalty program, you will save $2 by getting that from my rewards membership. So, you know, that's another way to really save money. I always recommend downloading big box store apps, whether it's the Lowe's app, Walmart app, the Target app. Actually, this week it is Target Circle week at Target. So if you're looking to save a ton of money, definitely download the Target app, for instance, and get all of those Target Circle deals available. I will show you the plant, like this flower bloom booster. I use that to really increase the yield of my vegetable plants. But the best one would be the Super Bloom, which has gotten 55 as the number of the phosphorus content for it. The higher the middle number is of your fertilizer, the more potential, I guess, in terms of the flowers that your plant is going to produce. But as you can see right here, plant foldies. It's a really nice late afternoon. It's not too hot, thankfully, because we have an overcast. And before we get into the main event, I did want to talk about Classy Rabbit soil. So if you haven't heard of Classy Rabbit soil, I would be really surprised if you didn't, because I pretty much plug Classy Rabbit soil in almost all my videos. My first question is, have you pooped on your plants today? If you haven't, watch me poop on my plant today as I pot up this beautiful aglaonema golden powder that I bought from a local small business called Peta's Planters. I'm using a terracotta planter from Walmart. So I'm using the Classy Rabbit soil. What I love about Classy Rabbit soil is, again, it is super chunky, fast draining, and the soil is 100% naturally sourced. It is a complete soil. So oftentimes we buy like potting mix, but then we have to add perlite. We have to add all of these amendments to make it a little bit chunky. Classy Rabbit is a complete soil where you don't have to add anything. You literally just have to go pot up the plant in the Classy Rabbit soil, and that is it. Classy Rabbit soil is a local small business based out in McKinney, Texas. The soil is made by farmers, and I truly believe if it is made by farmers, they know the goodness of Mother Earth and what to put in the soil. It is one of the best soils I've ever used. Mind you, it is naturally 100% naturally sourced, meaning all of the ingredients that you get are going to be naturally sourced. For instance, they utilize composted food waste, which makes it sustainable, rice hulls, and they also have pumice and some other stuff that makes it really good. And you can see right here, this is an example of how fast draining the Classy Rabbit soil is. It is at a lower price now. So if you go to classyrabbit.com, you can order the Classy Rabbit soil. Now, if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, several local small businesses do carry it. For instance, Peta's Planters has bags of Classy Rabbit soil. I believe Rubal's does as well. But for anybody that is outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, just go to classyrabbit.com, put your order in, try the bag out, let me know what you think. They do offer free shipping if you buy a minimum purchase of, I'm not sure the amount, but shop classyrabbit.com. This soil is amazing. It supports a local small business. If you haven't already, plant foldies, let's go ahead and poop on your plant today. I pooped on this Aglaonema golden powder and it is doing extremely well since I've actually potted it up and pooped on that plant. classyrabbitsoil.com, that is the place to be. That is where you need to shop for your soil. It is one of the best soil substrates ever. And so, you know, it's interesting because I know I really plug Classy Rabbit soil often. And, you know, some people will say, Richie, you're super commercial. You're always trying to push a product to us. I'm literally just recommending products that I feel like are worth somebody's while. Feel free to engage with the product or feel free not to. But, you know, when I feel passionate about supporting a business or supporting a cause, I'm always going to utilize this social media platform to talk about it. Now that we are on the main event, we are going to be looking at some of this restock. You can see that this Lowe's location has quite a bit of Costa Farms plants. That is a philodendron pink princess and a self-watering planter at a new lower price of $15.98. We've got a Sansevieria right over here in a self-watering planter, also for $15.98. There's a couple of plants in this one. I think there are 3. So if you're wanting to separate this out and get 3 plants for the low price of 1, you can buy that. It's the same thing with this beautiful plant right here, that Aglaonema red Siam. But I am going to go ahead and pick up this Sansevieria. We talk about easy care plants. If you haven't added a Sansevieria into your plant collection, consider putting one in your collection because they are very easy. They're very drought tolerant, as in you probably should not water them for at least a month. Keep their soil on the drier side and you will be good to go. Aglaonema red Siam right over here, and we're going to talk about the Aglaonema red Siam in a little bit detail. This plant is $15.98, low light tolerant, drought tolerant, commonly found at a big box store. Costa Farms has a new crop of Aglaonema red Siam. It is the official plant mascot of the Growfolds YouTube plant channel. So I hope that as they restock these plants all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or maybe even at Lowe's in your Lowe's locations throughout the country, please buy yourself an Aglaonema red Siam. I say that multiple times in every single video, and I'm not even sorry about it, because if you don't have an Aglaonema red Siam in your plant collection, you are definitely missing out on the beauty, the easy care, and budget friendly that this plant actually offers. I really like it. I think it's more of just the fact that it is an underdog, and a lot of times plants that are overlooked, unless somebody is on social media talking about it, it doesn't become trendy. Nobody's really paying attention to it. I could say that a lot about the trending plants that are happening right now. The variegated monsteras, definitely anthurium hybrids, and that's not any shade to anybody that's into anthuriums. Totally get it. It is a work of art, just getting all of those hybrids created. But you can see right over here, plant foldies, we've even got some Monstera Thai constellations. This one has a higher variegation, $29.98. Costa Farms Monstera Thai constellations available in trending tropical self-watering planters. Now with Monstera Thai constellations, oftentimes the variegation is really influenced by its initial genetics. So you can see that this one has higher like half moon variegation as compared to the more green Monstera Thai constellation. I would say with variegated plants, you don't want it to be super variegated. You want a balance of both. And what I like about Monstera Thai constellation is it is a stable variegation, so it's never going to fully revert back to green. And for the most part, it's pretty easy to care for. I would say try not to overwater it, because if you overwater it, it is actually susceptible to root rot. So in this stage, which is a little bit more juvenile stage, you want to make sure that you are not overwatering it. Otherwise, it's root rot. Over here is another I say monstera. This is actually a philodendron pink princess. So here's the thing about philodendron pink princess. It used to be a trending tropicals plant by Costa Farms for $19.98, but now it is readily available for only $15.98. You can see right over here, Plant Foldies, that this Lowe's hasn't even fully unboxed all of their hanging baskets. So know that if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Lowe's will have lots of hanging baskets readily available. In my previous video of Lowe's, our most recent video, I was able to find a Manjula Pothos hanging basket. Like, Manjula Pothos are amazing. I could have multiples. I could have a whole room of Manjula Pothos because of the round, large leaves and the beautiful variegation. Here's another Lowe's deals. This one is 20% off select succulents and cactus. So you can see right over here, we've got an assortment of Haworthias and different types. I do like Haworthias because they are unique in a sense that they don't nearly need as much bright light as compared to most succulents. So I find it interesting, and there are many different varieties of Haworthias. So let's just keep looking and picking up some of these plants. Let me know in the comment section what you think, Plant Foldies. So we've got some more Costa Farms plant restocks. This is a beautiful Epipremnum pinnatum albo. This one is for $19.98 in a self-watering planter. I love this. This is very easy to propagate too. You can take a cutting, anything Epipremnum pinnatum. They root very easily in water. They're very vigorous growers, even the variegated versions. And so for this one though, if you want the full potential of the plant, you want to grow it up a totem pole or moss pole so that the leaves will get larger and start to fenestrate, which means that it's going to split its leaves. And then again, I want to feature this Aglaonema red Siam. I asked this in all my videos. Please comment if you have an Aglaonema red Siam. If you don't, why don't you have an Aglaonema red Siam? Or better yet, any Aglaonemas in your plant collection. I have more than 3 digits worth of Aglaonema, and my collection is growing at such a rapid pace. I anticipate getting another shipment of rare and uncommon Aglaonema from overseas through the plant broker plantstop.us. And so I'm really thankful about that. You know, I would say buying plants from overseas is not for everybody. I would say most people are just comfortable going to a big box store like Lowe's and picking up plants. But if you ever have any questions or want a really reputable, trustworthy overseas seller where you don't necessarily have to have an import license since they have a broker that imports the plants for you, let me know in the comment section, and definitely get yourself an Instagram page so I can connect you with the actual overseas seller. But as you can see right here, Epipremnum aureum global green Pothos for $19.98. One of my favorite Pothos plants. It is a little bit slower growing as compared to the golden Pothos, but still it is a beautiful plant, and it's one that you have to really give it lots of light in order for you to get the very big contrast of green on green variegation. And then there's always ample amounts of philodendron white knights. Really love that too. Really nice variegation, and I love the maroon stems and white petioles of the plant. It's another one for $19.98. And you can just see that when Lowe's gets restocked with Costa Farms plants, I always tell people, run, do not walk to your latest Lowe's location, because you never know. Sometimes there might be a very unique plant and you will also get a really good deal. I'm just happy that I was proven wrong that, you know, Lowe's tends to wean off of their plants, but it looks like they just got a massive restock. And so for the Dallas-Fort Worth plant plant community, if you like big box stores, go check out Lowe's. I mean, you'll see that there's going to be lots of Costa Farms exotic angel plants. I'm curious to see what other plants are going into these Lowe's. So we'll see. I'm going to try my very best to go film more content, you know, balancing my career, balancing my life, balancing my personal life. It's a lot to handle, but I will say that I am back on routine. It's bringing me a lot of joy that I'm able to put this back in my daily routine, and I'm able to provide you guys some more plant content. So I'm just going to walk around and show you what plant restocks we have at this Lowe's right now. We've got different types of hanging baskets, Costa Farms exotic angel plants, the ones that are ranging from $16.98 for the 6-inch planters. And then we also have the 8-inch planters right over here. Look at this one. It is a waffle plant, purple waffle plant for only $16.98 since it's in a 6-inch planter. So I like the 6-inch planters. I say that all the time, and it's because it doesn't take that much space and it's easier to hang. Hanging baskets are a little bit more challenging to grow because you have to make sure when you hang the plant that it's still getting light to the top of the hanging basket. So you really want to hang it lower to where the sunlight at a window will give it some light, or you might have to hang it under a grow light. Like this Fittonia, for instance, beautiful plant, and you can see that it's got some blooms as well. Fittonias, love them, can't grow them in my house plant collection because of the watering requirements it has. And it's the same thing with these flame violets. I really like the look of it, and it has beautiful blooms. Typically it's got like a very fiery scarlet red bloom. It's another beautiful plant that I would love to add in my plant collection, but unfortunately I cannot maintain the watering requirements. Epipremnum aurea marble queen pothos, though, this I would totally buy. This I would totally add them in my plant collection. This plant I would actually have multiples of because it's such an easy to care for plant. I repeat, pothos plants needs everybody's love. Let's get more pothos plants. Let's use the hashtag popularize pothos because it is another plant that most people don't find a lot of value in unless it is a Japanese pothos. Marantha plant or a prayer plant, beautiful plant. It's just not one that I would recommend for a beginner. This one is for $5.98. there's something about just going through a big box store and walking around and picking up plants, and lo and behold, look at this plant foldies. We found another Manjula Pothos hanging basket, an 8-inch Manjula Pothos hanging basket from Costa Farms. These used to be super rare. It's even hard to find them in these large sizes, but quintessential Costa Farms, they are able to release something that is going to be more generally available for the general public. Really happy to see this. I'm tempted. Should I do it? Should I buy another Epipremnum aria Manjula Pothos? Let me know in the comment section below with the timestamp as you watch this video, but super happy to find it. Look at that gorgeous variegation. And right now I am currently growing my Manjula Pothos outdoors in a shaded area. I just feel like they are going to put in better growth by growing them outside. So my I guess my grow tip for anybody that wants to really see a lot of growth for your indoor tropical plants is to definitely try to grow them outdoors in a shaded area. The extra heat in Texas summers actually helps with the vigor of the plants as long as you are consistently watering the plants. So that's just another tip of mine. I do feel like growing plants, especially if you have plants that are struggling and need to rehab, put them outside. There are natural pest predators that will get rid of these plant pests, and it's just Mother Nature giving the plant what it needs: fresh air, great sunlight. Grow lights, it's an artificial light. The best type of light is the one that comes from the sun, at least in my opinion. And then you can see right here we've got Epipremnum aureum pearls in jade pothos. I have to say that Costa Farms really leads in terms of just having multiple hanging basket plants readily available. I do find that Costa Farms houseplants are budget friendly and easy to get come by, especially if you have big box stores in your area. That's the thing about big box stores. A lot of people will have some criticism about Costa Farms, making small businesses struggle. But my thing about it is you still choose where you're going to buy your plants. Even if I pay slightly more, say at a small nursery or I would say a small business, I still choose to do that because number one, there might be a little bit more care into some of the small businesses plants. And then number two, it's all about diversifying where you source your plants. Sometimes small businesses and nurseries might be able to provide even more cost-effective plant pricing than big box stores. So I always try to send that message out to anybody because I know that there was some controversy about the Costa Farms problem that several people sent me that video. Just know that there's always 3 sides to a story, and really make sure you delve in and see what the facts are and what is presented into the content that you see. There's a lot of editing that happens. There's a lot of AI videos that are being created now where people think are real. Just look and make sure that you are holistically looking at everything before you form a very strong opinion, especially a negative one towards somebody. I was asked a lot of questions about Costa Farms, etc., and I will repeat this again, and I am not sponsored by Costa Farms in any means. I will say that my interactions with the Costa Farm teams has always been very cordial, very kind, very welcoming. They were so appreciative of all the big box store plant shopping videos I've created featuring their work, and in turn, they also provide me with a lot of plants that I would have to pay a premium for had they not had it available for purchase at a big box store. I mean, you can see right here, lots of Pothos plants. Now, I do believe this is more of like a reverted Epipremnum aureum Manjula Pothos. They also call it the Greenjula Pothos. There's just a lot of Pothos. And so I have to ask the plant foldies, do y'all collect Pothos plants, or are you more into the more rare and uncommon Pothos plants? Let me know in the comment section below. And then you can even see here, I will be featuring some Live Trends design plants because you can't go to a Lowe's and not look at Live Trends design plants, as well as all of the budget budget-friendly, cost-effective houseplants from Costa Farms. Look at this. This one is another Ficus shivriana for $15.98 in a self-watering planter. Love this. I have one that I've been growing. I actually grew it from a 2-inch starter planter that I bought from Etsy from a seller called The Green Escape. I remember acquiring it, and even several years later, it is really pushing out a lot of growth for me. So it makes me super happy. And you know, with Ficus elastica or rubber tree plants like this, put them outside, put them in full sun. They will love it as long as you're consistent with the watering. I actually had a Ficus altissima that was struggling, lost all its leaves. It was neglected. It didn't get as much light indoors. I brought it outdoors. It has pushed out new leaves, and I'm thinking about chopping the top and water propagating the top cut and trying to encourage more branching. You know, it's the same thing with my Ficus umbellata. If anybody's ever had a Ficus umbellata, it is one of the ficus that has beautiful, large, heart-shaped leaves, but is very much spider mite prone. It's outside living its best life. I've never seen it push that many leaves in such fast time. So again, I am a big advocate when it comes to growing plants indoor, quote, indoor tropical plants outdoors, because I feel like Mother Nature provides the best environment for any type of plant. And you can see right here, Dieffenbachia Sublime. These are by Costa Farms for $22.98. Although there is a Lowe's deal, Lowe's sale for I think $15 or $14.98 if you have the Lowe's loyalty app, My Lowe's Rewards membership. So definitely download the Lowe's My Rewards app so you can save some more money whenever you are shopping at Lowe's. Big box stores always have these loyalty programs, and I just really believe that if you want to maximize your savings and really manage your finances for a plant hobby, definitely look at digital coupons. Definitely compare and contrast pricing. Definitely go when you know seasonally they're on sale. For instance, I've noticed that the trends are plants can be on sale early spring when you're getting plants, and then also in the middle of summer where some of these big box stores are trying to cull through their inventory. And then just in general, sometimes looking at holidays, you know, we just recently celebrated 4th of July, and we have some more holidays coming around. Those are good times to also buy plants. And in terms of plants, this is an Aglaonema Golden Bay, and I love it, love it, love it. Please buy yourself an Aglaonema Golden Bay. You can get one from Costa Farms for $29.98. That is such a beautiful plant. I have 3 of them in that size. I wouldn't mind a 4th or 5th one because it's an Aglaonema. And for those that are just discovering my big box store plant shopping video, consider posting pictures or videos of your Aglaonema on your social media profiles, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media you have. Use the hashtag popularize Aglaonema. I've noticed a lot of plant foldies will tag me, and I appreciate it. Please continue to tag me and use the hashtag popularize Aglaonema. We really want to get that going to perhaps push the campaign to really make them more of a plant that people will discuss, because you know, whenever you are talking about a certain subject and people catch wind, that awareness will get more people involved in maybe even collecting the plant. So definitely think that we should use the hashtag popularize Aglaonema, just so we can continue to push Aglaonemas. I've noticed that a lot of the plant foldies since watching my videos have really acquired Aglaonemas. I did want to shout out Eric from Minneapolis. He has a beautiful Aglaonema collection. I also wanted to shout out Carla. She's got Aglaonemas. She's my friend that hangs out with me whenever I go to PlantCon. And then also David for finally getting some Aglaonemas in his plant collection. You know, other people I want to go ahead and shout out is Evelyn from Trinidad and Tobago, my international plant foldie. Kathy, you already know, from Canada. I also wanted to shout out Silvana, I think that's correct, somebody reached out to her and basically said that she watches my videos and wanted a shout out. So I wanted to shout out Silvana. I also wanted to shout out Leap. I wanted to shout out Charm. I wanted to shout out Tree, and anybody else I may have missed. Also Angelique, that is the aunt to my Charlotte and Catriona, my baby chickens. Thank you so much. And if I missed anybody in the shout outs, please leave that in the comments, because I'm going to try to shout you guys out, because I feel like you guys deserve it and you guys make this plant community. But as you can see right here, I'm just talking through the video and picking up all of these plants. You'll see, and the point of today's video is to show you that big box stores do get plant restocks in the summertime. It just really depends. You know, oftentimes we'll see a decline in the restocks, but this year, 2025, as I film this video, we can at least see we've got lots of different plants from Costa Farms, and we're gonna see what else we find here today. Really like the look of this Dieffenbachia. There is a little bit of dying leaves, but look at how beautiful that variegation is. I am going to try to grow a Dieffenbachia. I have 2 Dieffenbachia that are doing extremely well. I got it from greenspaces.id. They are the Dieffenbachia mints, but you can see right here, take a look at this. We've got a Costa Farms Exotic Angel Manjula Pothos. So if you don't want to get a large hanging basket, these are making it into the market again, and these are only for $8.98. Super exciting. I kind of want to get them, but then again, I could probably just propagate my Manjula Pothos. Let me know in the comment section again what you think about the Manjula Pothos, because I do think that that is one of the best pothos plants. I would say Neon Pothos is still my #1 pothos that I like. That's my favorite one, but Manjula Pothos is a close second. Like this one right here, this one is actually in one of those seasonal planters for $9.98. Look at that high variegation. That one is not a bad price at all. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you live out in McKinney, Texas, Prosper, Texas, Melissa, Salina, Aubrey, Frisco, go to this Lowe's location here, because they have Manjula Pothos for a really good price. You know, some places will sell pothos plants for like $20 at that size, but Costa Farms has them readily available at Lowe's, or at least this Lowe's, for a very cost-effective, budget-friendly price. I think you're getting a really good deal, really good sale prices for these plants. Lots of Costa Farms Exotic Angel plants. Again, we're looking at these Syngoniums. Love Syngoniums. They're pretty vigorous, but for me, I am really more comfortable just growing them in semi-hydroponic substrates such as Lechuza Pond and Leca. And you know, somebody asked me the other day, do I put a lot of my plants in semi-hydroponic substrates? Not necessarily. I'm actually converting most of my plants back into soil, especially my Aglionemas, because I've learned that Aglionemas tend to like more of a drier condition. Now, this is another stunning Manjula Pothos, $9.98 in a beautiful planter. It looks like Costa Farms has new planters that they've released. They've got yellow golden ones like their logo. They've got pink ones and white ones. But as far as these Manjula Pothos, I really do think that this is such a good value, such a good price for this plant. And look at how beautiful the planter is. So if you want something a little bit more minimalistic, that's pretty close to it. And you'll see that they've also got Syngoniums right here. I love the Syngonium. Can you believe that I was actually tempted to buy this as an impulse buy? Because look at how beautiful the leaves are. They're round. They've got a really nice shape to it. And you know what? Syngoniums are just easy. Now, my grandmother is propagating a lot of this particular Syngonium. So again, for those that have sent super stickers to my grandmother, really appreciate it. I hope you guys continue to leave comments, positive comments, because she does look forward to reading those. And I'm hoping to do more videos with my my grandmother. You know, her being 90, and I'm going to go ahead and go on another tangent for a second. Her being 90, it just really reminds me that our time on this planet is never certain, but seize the day, spend the time with who you need to spend with if you're able to do so. So I am planning on visiting my parents, my grandmother, in the next weekend I'm off. And then look at this right here. Yep, this is gonna go home with me. This Manjula Pothos has to go home with me. It has to. Would you agree? I mean, look at how beautiful the variegation is. $20.98 plant foldies. What an exciting plant find. And I don't know, I would say I'm also addicted to shopping, or at least spending money on plants. I'm trying not to. I swear I'm trying not to, but you know, it is a double-edged sword slightly. I say slightly, because making big box or plant shopping videos, I end up being very tempted to buy plants. It is really tempting me to really refuse to buy plants, but how do you refuse a Manjula Pothos? I'm even thinking about just going in and spending even more money in buying this Epipremnum Aureum Marble Queen Pothos. Just kidding. I'm just gonna get the Manjula Pothos. So again, and I know that it sounds silly, but if anybody wants to fund my plant shopping videos, definitely drop a super sticker, a super thanks, or if you want to gift YouTube membership tiers to 5 lucky plant foldies, that definitely helps with my plant budget to create these types of videos. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, look at this silver band Marantha by Herb, and actually it's Live Trends Design, $24.98. Beautiful plant. Unfortunately, it is a plant I just can't add into my plant collection because I haven't had the best luck in keeping it alive. And then in Aglaonema Silver Bay over there by Live Trends Design, that one is for $14.98. But this is definitely an impulse buy. I admit that this is definitely an impulse buy. This is one that I definitely need to take home with me. So hopefully, plant foldies, you've enjoyed today's video. Please consider joining my YouTube membership tier for more exclusive content. Just click the link in the comment section or even in the description of this video. I am definitely taking this Manjula Pothos home. Shout out to Costa Farms. Thank you for having these available. And as always, my name is Richie at Growfolds. Please subscribe to this channel with all the notification bell on. I will have some more brand new big box store shopping videos soon. Bye.